Hello, welcome to Bryan Lomax Movie Talk and day 23 of the August Alphabet Challenge. Today we're on to the letter W, and yeah, you guys chose Wall Street for me to review, which is the 1987 Oliver Stone movie starring Michael Douglas, Charlie Sheen and Martin Sheen. The story follows a young stockbroker played by Charlie Sheen who's trying to make his way up the ladder. He's kind of stuck in limbo a bit, and he's desperately trying to get hold of this bigwig called Gordon Gekko, played by Michael Douglas, because he basically wants to be him. Most people in his business want to be Gordon Gekko. They want to be a high flyer, making all the deals, making all the money. And yeah, this guy latches onto him, kind of won't let go until he takes him under his wing and starts to show him the tricks of the trade. Unfortunately, the tricks of the trade are quite unscrupulous and actually break laws. So yeah, now I'm not that savvy when it comes to stock markets, things like that. There's a reason I am not in stock markets. It's because I don't understand them. I have no clue. When I see all those numbers going past on boards and I see all those people in the stock market shouting and saying buy, buy, sell, sell, dump and all that, nothing. Got nothing. I'm totally clueless. Got no idea what they're talking about. Now, thankfully, this film talks in such a way, it uses certain language in a way that kind of means you don't quite have to understand all the ins and outs of stock marketeering or anything like that, but you get what's going on. You get who the good guys are, you get who the bad guys are, you get why that is so. Now this is the height of the 80s, and Wall Street was kind of, it almost became a symbol for yuppies. Many yuppies didn't quite get the fact that Michael Douglas in this film was the bad guy and actually looked at him as some kind of hero. You know, the whole greed is good speech. It is basically, yeah, his character is symbolic of modern America. And I don't think much has changed, to be honest, since the day this film came out. I think people may have become a bit more savvy to it, and there's a lot more attention paid these days to how you look on the outside, not being so obviously greedy and whatnot. But yeah, they're still all essentially playing the same game. And I think this film does a really good job of just highlighting how absurd the whole stock market scene is, and how, yeah, just how greedy mankind can be. Now, my favourite character in this is played by Martin Sheen. So he plays the dad, the father of Charlie Sheen's character, obviously, because they are real life father and son. And I gotta say, whenever Charlie Sheen and Martin Sheen are on screen together, it really highlights how Charlie Sheen isn't that great of an actor, to be honest. That's just me. And that's because Martin Sheen acts him off the screen in every scene that they share together. Like, it's seriously, it's like every time they're on screen and you're watching them play out a scene, it's like you're watching Charlie Sheen get schooled by his father. Now, I'm a big Martin Sheen fan, massive fan of The West Wing, love Martin Sheen, but I just feel like, yeah, here, I feel like Charlie Sheen got into this business because family was already in this business, and it's just, he's not as good as the family that's in the business. Now, don't get me wrong, he's not terrible or anything. He certainly does enough as an actor to convey the character and get into it, and there's a few emotional beats. The particular sequence, kind of redemptive moment when this guy has realised that his father was right all along and that he's in the wrong business, and that he should be thinking more about what he can create rather than what he can buy and sell. And yeah, there's a nice scene there where he goes to his father and has a heart-to-heart. And of course, we've got the iconic performance by Michael Douglas. It's more the character, I think, that is iconic. Although, you know, that's not to take away from Douglas, because he does give a great performance here. But I feel like it's the kind of role that Douglas can do in his sleep, you know. Yeah, he plays the smarm and the charm and the ruthlessness really well. Yeah, he always has done. Does it to great effect here. And that particular speech that I was talking about, the whole greed is good speech, It works because there is truth in it. There's a quote about, you know, how to best hide a lie as you sandwich it between two truths, and that's essentially what Gordon Gekko does. He is the devil in a suit, basically. You know, he knows how to win people over. He knows how to deliver a lie because he sandwiches it between two truths. That's the kind of game that he plays. Now, I've never been the biggest Oliver Stone fan, I've got to say. I still think the best thing that he's ever done, although he didn't direct it, he just wrote the script, is the remake of Scarface, starring Al Pacino. But as far as the work that he's done, that he has directed personally, I've got to say, I think this is probably the best thing I've ever seen from him. I think it's a really tight script, really well developed characters, a really clean cut character arc of someone, you know, making the climb and then the fall and then the climb again, kind of redemptive story arc. I think, again, you know, the dialogue kind of helps you to understand something that really for someone like me is not understandable. And yeah, it's just a good story, well told. My biggest criticism of the film, I think, would be the music. I've never been that big on 80s music, and this is kind of like at the, yeah, that peak 80s synth kind of horrible music scores that would permeate through the movies at the time. I just don't think the score works for this film. I'm not sure it ever did. Obviously, this is the first time I've watched it, but I've never seen a film, even back in the 80s when I was watching them. One of the things that I never liked was this kind of score, the score that you find in here. It's never been my taste in music. And when people get kind of nostalgic for that kind of 80s style, I never share in that nostalgia. So yeah, I really liked this film. I thought it was very good. Much better than I was expecting it to be, given my track record with Oliver Stone. Kind of makes me want to watch the sequel now, even though I know that, you know, the reviews for that were never that great. I remember when that film came out and the reviews were all kind of like, oh, I shouldn't have bothered. But even so, having watched this film now, I have an interest in seeing that sequel, despite its reputation. So, yeah, should I, is the question. I'm going to give Wall Street 4 out of 5, but should I check out the sequel? Let me know in the comment section down below. While you're down there, don't forget to check out the links for the August Alphabet Challenge. Find a bit more out about what it is I'm actually doing. We're trying to raise money for a women's shelter in Zambia. So if you can donate, that would be amazing. If not, that's okay, but please like and share this video so that more people can hear about it. But yeah, until tomorrow, when I will be reviewing Triple X, The Return of Xander Cage. Cracking.